Hey, what's up guys? It's been a little while since I made an update video, so I thought I would let you know how life has been treating me after university. And I just want to talk about what I might have done right in school to have the good fortune of being able to find a job. So let's start right after school finished. I did a lot of volunteering after I finished school. I wasn't really quick and keen to find a job right after school. And the reason I wanted to go for some volunteering was because I was just looking to gain some of the good experiences that I wasn't able to get while I was in school because I was either too busy or too stressed to even try to do some of that stuff. So I ended up doing a day with Habitat for Humanity. They're a non-for-profit charity and they build homes for low-income families, which gave me great insight into how things are done on site, and I actually got to go on site to a residential home and see how things are done. Another volunteer job I did was with Philip Beasley's Architect Studios, and they make living architecture systems, which is basically a fancy way of saying a abstract art installation. They recently did one at the ROM, Royal Ontario Museum, and I found that to be a really cool learning experience because I got the chance to use laser cutters as well as metal bending techniques and acrylic forming techniques. So we did a lot of thermoforming there. I actually got lucky enough that my first day with volunteering with him, I actually got hired for a short-term contract. So I worked a few days with him because I knew how to use the 3D modeling program Rhino, and they were just a little short-staffed. Another thing that I just kind of fell into was part-time work. Whenever I was available to work or whenever opportunities came up, I would just take it and go for it. And I found that experience also really remind me that I am still at the bottom of the food chain even though I graduated from school, and I should really know how to act in that place. Then I graduated, yay me, because about 2 years ago I actually made a video talking about dropping out, and for the longest time I didn't think I would graduate or graduate on time for that matter. Beyond this, there was just like a whole bunch of networking events that I tried to attend, go out and meet new people and just talk about emerging things in the industry. And lastly, I just want to talk about finding a job, because a month and a half ago I actually made a video talking about not being super keen on finding a 9-to-5 and just going into that, just because I don't know, after getting out of university for those 4 long years of stressful projects and deadlines, I just felt like I needed a little break to do all the stuff I missed out for those 4 years. So basically those first 2 months I chilled, I volunteered, and I just did a little bit of part-time work. And towards the end of those 2 months, I was actually referred by my friend to the company she was currently working at. The reason I want to talk about my experience in finding a job is because I know that some of my classmates had a lot more difficulty finding a job because either places aren't really looking right now, or it's just really hard to get your foot into the door. So I want to talk about some of the things that I think I might have done okay or well while I was still in university to get me to where I am now. One of the things I really learned from my university experience was to get good at teamwork and group projects. I did a whole bunch of group projects in school, and just learning how to navigate around different situations or tensions that may arise was really helpful. And just being engaged in a group and knowing when you should be following up on something, make sure that that thing is done, and potentially just getting some experience in extracurricular projects as well. When I was in school, I did a variety of different design build projects, which was directing me into more of the field that I was more interested in. And again, I just want to mention following up with people, because in group projects, that is extremely crucial that you're able to keep that open line of communication so you can provide support when others need it, and you can ask for support when you need it. It also shows that you have a sense of urgency to get things done, and I think in a group environment that's a really beneficial thing to have. Another thing I really value is just learning and getting into the habit of writing things down, because you and your group can talk about a lot of things when you're working with other people, or even just by yourself. You can be thinking a lot of things, and a lot of those ideas might not be executed. So even just having a list of things you talk about or think about can be really helpful for you in the future if you need to refer back on it. Especially in team meetings, it's incredibly important for you to be writing down notes because you should be recording enough for you to understand kind of the scope of a project as well as your role in it. I actually started work pretty disorganized, and I found it really difficult to remember everything that was being said from another person or through a meeting. So everyone just says, write it down. And even though I was writing it down, I wasn't very organized. So it made it really difficult to remember which things had to be done first or which things had to be listed in a specific order. I don't know. So another good tip would just be to color code your notes and just try to keep it as organized as possible. Another great thing that I think should be emphasized a bit more in school is the ability to call someone and request for something. I find that coming out of school, I didn't have a lot of experience in calling and requesting for, say, since I came out of interior design, it would be my job to find samples, request for quotes, and request for a variety of different services. And one more time, just following up on those requests are really super important because otherwise in the real world, most things won't get done because everyone's always so busy and scrambling from project to project or client to client. So even if it's not required in your curriculum, I would highly recommend you to kind of push your comfort zone and just go out there and call whoever and see, what they have to offer, because most people were students at one point, and I think a lot of people can share that empathy for, just starting small and moving forward. The last little tip I have for today is just to put yourself out there. I know starting university or even being in your second, third year, you can get into your little comfort zone or your cliques. And I think that it's important to remember not to fall into that comfort too hard, because once you're out of school, everything changes really quickly. So put yourself out there, go to networking events, talk to different people, talk to your friends, and just don't be afraid to ask questions and make mistakes. A lot of times it's better to just ask a question, even if it's a really dumb question. If you don't understand, then it's more important that you understand, because ultimately it will save the company time and you won't be yelled at for doing something wrong. Anyways guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys found any value in me sharing my experiences, feel free to leave a thumbs up down below. And if you guys are interested in my journey of design and fabrication and just me talking about my process, I'm posting videos here every single week, and I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.